I started waterfowl hunting at a pretty young age. When I was in 6th grade, we moved out to the country and were fortunate enough to live about a quarter-mile away from a marsh. And when you live near water in Iowa, you're lucky to begin with. But I just was ate up with it all the way from that point on. When we partnered with Dave Smith Decoys, I know the Missouri guys were incredibly excited about the turkey decoys, but for me personally, I was really pumped about the waterfowl decoys that they had. And when JD called and said we had an opportunity to head out west and hunt with those guys, I couldn't wait to go. Clay and I had done a bunch of waterfowl hunting, but never out west on the Pacific Flyway. And JD never waterfowl hunted in his life. So for different reasons, we were all excited to head out west and hunt with those guys.
We are creatures of purpose, constantly digging, pushing, and searching for that one thing that will define us. And when we search within, we come face to face with the harsh reality that what we needed all along is bigger than ourselves.
Thank you, Jesus.
Oregon is a place that I've always wanted to go, but never have. And in my circles, there's not a lot of people that waterfowl hunt, so this is something that I'd never really done. So whenever we got the invitation to go out there and goose hunt with some guys that really knew what they were doing, it was an easy decision for me.
So he'll be here in 5 minutes. He's in a dirty black Ford pickup.
And he's got the flu.
And he's got the flu.
So I call not it for shotgun.
Take your hand, I'll give you a knuckle bump. just don't touch your eyes or Clay.
Dave picked us up from the airport and we drove down to where DSD's operation is set up.
Here we are. It's the headquarters, huh? It's where the magic happens.
Getting the tour of the DSD shop with Brad and Dave was kind of almost more of an artist studio than anything else. The thing that you learn instantly is, without a doubt, these guys make the best decoys on the market, and it was obvious right from the beginning why. The detail that goes into every single decoy makes them look as realistic as it gets. As a bonus, they had just finished their first run on their new Cackler decoys, and to be able to have the opportunity to go out and kind of live test those before anyone else just got me pumped for the next couple days of hunting.
Hallowed Ground Outdoors is brought to you by Quality Archery Designs. Focus on the shot, we take care of the rest. Duck Band brand. Anything else is a cheap imitation. Hoyman Extendable Tree Saws. The Shooting Lane Saw. The Sportsman's Guide. Name brand hunting supplies at closeout prices. Evolved Harvest Premium Forage. Grow more groceries per acre and deer prefer it. The new Icon trail cameras. Storm, Black Widow, and Quick Shot. I demand the best. In a game of inches, when the smallest imperfections can mean the difference between success and failure, I feel confident knowing that every QAD Ultra-Rest has been designed, manufactured, and assembled right here on American soil. With unparalleled precision and uncompromised quality, the Ultra-Rest is more than a piece of equipment. It's a part of who we are. I shoot the Ultra-Rest, America's Rest, only by Quality Archery Designs.
A mature buck can detect an imposter at 400 yards, so why take a chance with any old scent? Tink's Hot Shots eliminates problems found with ordinary aerosol bombs. Its bag and can system separates the scent from the propellant, so the scent is not diluted or contaminated with other chemicals. While aerosols may contain as little as 33% lure, Tink's Hot Shots spray 100% pure scent, 100% of the time. Tink's Hot Shot. Don't bomb your hunt.
Hallowed Outdoors is brought to you by Anthem Custom Bow Strings. Finally, a string as reliable as your bow. The official string of Hallowed Outdoors, made in the USA.
What do we got this morning? What we eating?
Breakfast. It's gonna be some Nutter Butter bites. And I'm looking for the little bunnies.
Healthy.
See any?
Healthy as always.
I honestly think that television has kind of tainted my view of goose hunting, because anytime I've seen it on TV, it looked like it was pretty easy. It took me all of about 10 minutes to realize that this goose hunting is a little bit more difficult and a little bit more labor intensive than I had anticipated.
Are those things mean?
I don't know. Go pet him, Joe.
No, I'm serious. Aren't llamas pretty darn mean? So we're trying to get around this llama and finally do. Well, the worst part about it was the sun comes up and the only hide that we had along this fence line, all the grass that was in this fence, the llama had just completely annihilated, and there was absolutely no cover for us to get behind. At this point, with all the gear unloaded and walking all the way out in this section, we had no choice but just to really try to make a go at it.
Rather than doing a pattern that, takes your decoys further away from you, we're running them, kind of parallel to us here, so we can keep them all fairly tight and, within good range.
So trying to hide 5 hunters and a camera guy, we just didn't have much luck. But I'd seen more geese in one group than I'd seen in my entire life.
Only in J.D. Hewitt's world of the worst hunting luck ever can you have 10,000 geese flying over, circling your field, and not one land in your spread. And great calling, incredible decoys, just with 5 guys and a bunch of camera gear sitting out in the middle of nowhere, there was no chance that anything was going to come in.
Wow. Told you we were going to butcher them.
After the morning hunt, Brad said that he wanted to go out and do some scouting, and whenever he said scouting, man, he is serious about it. We pull up to this field and he busts out this big, huge spotting scope, and he's looking for bands, and he's jotting down numbers and taking all kinds of data and writing down where he's seen these geese. The guy takes goose hunting to a completely different level, it really brought kind of a trophy element to goose hunting that I didn't even know existed.
So right now you've got a chart of every one that you've seen?
Where you've seen?
Yeah, all my sightings since I started doing it back in early October.
Dude, that's serious.
I've had over 200 now. But this goose that I just saw, I saw him out here like 3 weeks ago. He was in this same field.
So is that like your hit list?
One of the things that struck me the most about these guys was just their passion for waterfowl hunting. It's something that every single whitetail hunter especially, I think, can relate to. Brad puts in tons of hours each and every year going out and scouting these birds and recording neck bands and reporting it to the local conservation officers. There's a trophy element and a conservation element to it for them. With all the scouting that we did, you really had a sense of how many birds were in the area, and I just had a feeling that the next couple days were going to be way better than the first.
This segment brought to you by the Gun Tool from Real Avid. 18 rifle and shotgun tools in one rugged frame. Make sure you aren't caught in the field with your gun down. The Gun Tool by Real Avid. This segment of HGO is brought to you by Muddy Outdoors. Go Muddy.
We're here, and this field right here, we're gonna have to kind of just go around. Are you guys stopping here? No, we're gonna keep going, assuming we can get across this.
We got 8 blinds set up about 40 yards down here, and yesterday it was just so darn tough to film out of the blind, so I'm getting all gillied up here and gonna sit in these trees. And we got a stiff wind right now at our back, which is perfect, and got all the BSDs out, and Lord willing, it's gonna be a good day, because we need it to make this an episode. So if we don't kill geese, you'll never see this, but if we do kill geese, you're about ready to see some carnage.
One of the things about goose hunting that I learned pretty quick is that one of the appeals is in the anticipation. You're just watching these clouds of geese coming in from way far off, and the closer they get, the more the anticipation is building and the more that the tension is building, and just about the time it hits its peak, man, everybody busts up and it just turns into a Wild West shootout.
So we have two different subspecies of Canadas right here. We've got a Cackler in my left hand here, and we've got a Taverner. And these are the two more common subspecies that are found in the valley. The difference, as you can see, the Taverners are quite a bit larger and a lot lighter breast color on them, and the Cackler is smaller, darker, and he's got a stubbier bill on him. You can see the difference. You know, the Taverner has a much longer beak on him than the Cackler. And then you can also go by their call. The Taverner has more of a honk sound to their call. The Cacklers are really high pitched. It sounds more like a peep than a honk.
Okay.
So.
But in a group like that, you couldn't hear the.
I could hear the Taverners actually.
There.
I mean, when they would. Oh, a bunch coming.
In behind us. All right.
Time to switch off.
Time to switch up.
Our second morning was completely different from the first. I mean, we just seemed to be in geese all morning long. And it felt like as soon as you would go out and retrieve the geese you had shot, you'd have to run back in because there was another group coming in. And it was just awesome.
Your gun jammed up on me. I got one shot off. I got one.
Yeah.
I got one in my gun jam.
Yeah. I shot one though.
Nice job, JD.
Hey, that's a lot of fun.
Sweet.
Goose hunt in Oregon is fun. And I tell you what, when they got in those decoys, I couldn't pick them out. Those decoys are good.
Yeah.
A solid rest is key in making accurate shots. The Dead Shot Field Pod provides hunters bench rest accuracy when it matters most. Whether it's predators, turkeys, or big game, the Dead Shot Field Pod adjusts to fit any shooter with any weapon. Caldwell's Dead Shot Field Pod. Accuracy anywhere.
Our last day, it was just JD, Clay, Brad, and myself. And with the pressure off of killing a bunch of geese the previous day, we just kind of sat back, enjoyed it, and took it all in before we had to head home.
Brad and Dave really take their work seriously. I've hunted over a lot of decoys and none compare to the quality of these decoys. They're just really impressive. We'd let some of the geese land in them to let some of the, try to get a bigger grind to work. And the geese were comfortable in them and you couldn't pick out the real geese from the decoys until one of them moved.
To be able to have the opportunity and experience hunting on the Pacific Flyway and geese in those numbers was just incredible. Great people, great hunting, outstanding products. Unfortunately, our time came to an end. We had to jump in the planes and head back to the Midwest.
The experience of hunting these Cackler geese on the Pacific Flyway was amazing. Hunting with Brad and Dave was a blast. They're two of the most fun guys I've ever been around. And I can't wait for the chance to get back out there to Oregon and get another few limits of geese.
JD said, I need to get in there first because I have to go to the bathroom bad. He punched me in the nose.
I actually tried doing a little bit of calling, and Dave described my calling as an asthmatic swan being stuffed into a bag.
That was cool. I got two in one shot and then I quit. I think both of mine had collars too.
Peace and a purpose I have found in this sanctuary, my hallowed ground. And I am standing on this hallowed ground where I was born, and it's where they lay me down. If anybody asks where I can be found, you tell them I'll be right here on this hallowed ground. Yeah, I'll be right here on this hallowed ground. Yeah, I'll be standing on this hallowed ground.
Closed captioning for Hallowed Ground Outdoors is provided by Dave Smith Decoys, the best decoys on the planet, made in the USA.